Hello, and welcome to another version of Hot Rod's Rants. Today, I'm going to talk to you on why I no longer am an NBA fan. Um, I grew up in Indiana. I love sports, but basketball is my passion. Basketball and music are my two passions in life. I love basketball. I always have. I've been a Bulls fan since the 60s, and I've been an Indiana fan since I was old enough to remember. Um, I've watched thousands and thousands of NBA games, college games, and I stopped watching the NBA, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago. And there's many, many reasons for that, and I'd like to discuss them. I was reading something online a week or two back from Marcellus Wiley, and he was saying that he had a discussion with his friends and that they were no longer watching the NBA because all they do is shoot threes. And he took the side of the NBA saying, well, of course, that's all they do is shoot threes because it's sabermetrics, however you say that, where if you have a higher percentage, you shoot a lower percentage of threes, you still score more points than a higher percentage of twos. And why wouldn't they do that? Well, he's got a good argument, except for um, who the hell the NBA shoots 42% of their shots now from the three-point range, and I don't see it going anywhere but up. And which I'll get to a little bit later, there's a total lack of effort when it comes to the NBA in general. So there's not a whole lot of defense being played. If you watch any sort of reruns or highlights from an NBA game and you see people shooting threes, if you see anybody in the vicinity of these people shooting the threes, then you've caught somebody on a good night. You might see an extended hand to the top of his chin or some shit, but these people are shooting wide open threes. So basically you have, some of the greatest athletes in the world running from three-point line to three-point line and just firing them up. And there's no defense being played. There's no, nobody cares about the regular season. So the impact that just watching a bunch of people run from three-point line to three-point line and fire them up is no good. It's no fun. It's not fun to watch. But there's many, many reasons why I don't watch the NBA. That one just kind of caught my attention. And I thought, well, I don't care if you do score more points by shooting a lower percentage of three. That shit is not fun to watch. Plus, it never really got to that point, I don't think, until Golden State won its first championship, because nobody really thought you could win a championship by shooting all them threes. And then the Splash Brothers, Curry and Thompson, ended up winning a championship. Actually, as you well know, they've won several, but after they won that first one, that pretty much turned the game on its ear. It's affected every aspect of basketball. My kid, my son, my grandson, they love Steph Curry, huge fans, Golden State fans. They still watch the NBA. That's their business. But I say that, he's an all-time great. He's a global icon. But I think that his effect on the game overall, especially at younger ages, I don't know if this is long-term, but for the last 5 to 7 to 10 years, and right now, it's ruined the game. If you go watch young kids play basketball at the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th grade levels, which I have a grandson that's in the 8th grade, and I've watched AAU. I went and watched the summer AAU tournament in St. Louis last summer. It's the worst basketball I've ever seen in my life. It was terrible. Every team must have shot 53s and made 2 of them. They were clanging shit off the side, off the rim, off the backboard, long rebounds. People didn't know how to dribble. They couldn't guard anybody. They were dribbling into traps and picking the ball up. Nobody gets in the center of the floor. All they do is what they see from the NBA. They run to the 3-ball line and fire it up. I have friends that played a very high-level basketball, when they were young, and they coached basketball and coached at the AAU level and recruited and have been involved in basketball all their life, and they stopped coaching because they told me. They said, you can't get the kids to listen. They don't want to listen. All they want to do is run to the three-point line and fire it up. Even if they can't shoot, they don't care. That's what they want to do. Well, that's from watching the NBA. And if you can see, European players are now pretty much the best players in the world, and they're way more fundamentally sound than NBA players. Their big guys know how to dribble, they know how to pass, they know. I mean, who's the leader in triple doubles? The big guy from Denver, Jokic. That dude is the most fundamentally sound basketball player since probably Michael Jordan or Larry Bird. That guy is amazing. He can shoot, he can pass, he can rebound, he can score. I don't know as they put a premium on defense, but it really doesn't matter in the NBA because nobody's guarding anybody anyway. The lack of defense and the lack of effort for people making that kind of money, I have no interest in that shit. I just don't. Another thing that gets there's several things about the NBA. How about lack of calls on veterans? I mean, what kind of a league is it where it's a foul for this guy but not for that guy? I mean, how many times do you hear the announcers and they dig this shit? They think this is cool. Well, that guy doesn't get that call. He hasn't been in the league long enough. The hell you mean he don't get that call? Either it's a foul or it isn't a foul. If it's a foul for him and not for him, that's cheating. All right? You can fucking try to explain this away any way you want, but look at it like this. If it's an NFL lineman, all right, and he's offsides, he's fucking offsides. They don't go, well, that guy wasn't offsides because he's been in the league 7 years. No, he was fucking offsides. I mean, I saw a guy one time run, I don't know, he was 15 or 20 yards away from LeBron James, and they called him for a double technical. I'm just kidding, but you know what I mean. You can't touch these fellas. And I'm not watching that. You can knock a fucking rookie down. Nah, don't worry about it. You touch a veteran and it's a foul. I'm sorry, man, but that's cheating. That's just flat cheating. You can give me all your bullshit, but it's not right. It's just not right. And the other thing is, if they do call a foul on you, all they do is fucking whine. I've been watching the NBA since probably 1967, and I've yet to see anybody commit a foul. Anybody. They could take a shovel out there, hit you in the back of the fucking head, knock you to the ground, and then they want to argue with the ref. It's like, look, man, you fouled him. I mean, what is this? I've never fouled anyone. I played in what is arguing with the ref going to do for you? You know? Then I look at guys like Draymond Green. Draymond Green, your usefulness as an NBA player is over. I seen something a week or two ago on highlights where you got called for a technical, and then you wanted to call the referee, a racist? Well, the minuscule fucking respect I had for you then is now gone. So you're going to call him all kinds of names, get up in his face, yell and scream and shit, and then he gives you a technical foul and you want to call him a racist? A man making tens of millions of dollars a year working in a country, and you want to call him a racist? That's punk shit. That's low baby punk ass shit. That's what that is. You know what? Your best claim to fame that you should stick to is that you fucking know Tom Izzo. Because you're just a big, what do you average, 9 points and 6 rebounds a game or some shit, and they're paying you? They should have traded your ass a long time ago. But Steve Kerr, he's either afraid of you or I don't know what his deal is, but he can't draft because who'd he draft? Kuminga and Pozinski and fucking Wiseman? Yeah, there you go. He's building a championship team. Steve Kerr, quit worrying so much about social issues and fucking learn how to coach and draft and shit, and you might not wear Curry out before his time. But Draymond Green, you need to shut up, man, and be appreciative of all the money you make and stop being a whiny little bitch. I can't take that shit. Are you kidding me? You called that dude a racist? You're just a punk, man. That's it. You're just a punk. Um, Probably what bothers me the most about the NBA, which turned me off immediately, I'll just say one name, Kawhi Leonard, load management. That's the most ridiculous shit. What's that other idiot from LSU that make him and Anthony Davis? Anthony Davis doesn't do load management. He just falls down. Then he's out a month. Oh, I hurt my arm. I hurt my finger. Hurt my wrist. Hurt my foot. Hurt my toe. Hurt my earlobe. Hurt my eyelash. Fuck you dudes. Kawhi Leonard used to be a good player till you decided you did. I mean, and if you don't think you affect people, look at the dude from Kansas. Probably the most talented guy in college basketball. He don't want to play. I don't want to play. He knows he don't have to play. He can sign a fucking contract and say, oh, Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons claims to have medical issues. He's got some fucking medical issues. You know what they call that shit? They call that lazy. They call that fucking lazy. That's what you are, man. So they're going to pay you these guaranteed contracts, and then you're going to decide, oh, I don't feel like playing. Well, let me tell you something, man. You know what load management is for the average American? So you got a disconnect out here. People get up at 6:30 in the morning, 5:30 in the morning. They drive in the fucking snow, the cold, the wind, the rain, the heat, whatever. They got to go to work every day because they got to feed their family, man. They don't get load management. They don't get to call up and say, hey, I took the day off because my foot hurt. Yeah, when you do that 2 or 3 times, then you'll be looking for a new job. You dudes put a fucking basketball in a rim. You're 28 years old. You work 6 months a year. You fly in private jets. You're in first class hotels all over the world and shit. And yes, I know you have back-to-backs and all that shit. But how come all the older players could do that shit? I heard LeBron James saying, oh, well, you know, 82 games now is worth... What the... is worse now than it used to be. What in the hell are you talking about? First off, you've played 82 games once in your whole damn career, which is probably why you're still playing. That and you wear the same size hat as Barry Bonds. Wink, wink, nod, nod, if you know what the fuck I'm talking about. But anyway, you don't know what it's like to play a full schedule. Shit, you're always out, sitting out. You're looking for great players so you can find a championship, and you're sitting out so you're good to go when the playoffs come. Come on, man. Who you fucking... You guys, number one, you're young. So when you try to... I don't know if you're just talking to young people, but NBA fans, a lot of them are... You know, I'm 66 years old. So to me, I got children older than you. So when you start spewing fucking nonsense, I'm not listening to that shit. Okay? But Kawhi Leonard, he started that shit. I don't feel like playing. You know what I mean? So people get up, they work their ass off, they go to an NBA game, costs them $1,000, 500,000, depends on how many kids they got, what they want to eat, what they want to drink, how far they got to drive, what they pay for parking. They get the fuck in there, and you don't feel like playing because your foot hurts? Nah, fuck that. I ain't supporting that shit. I ain't supporting that. And I was one of the biggest NBA fans. I'm a Michael Jordan fan. I watched I go back to Norm Van Leer and Jerry Sloan and Butterbean. I love Jordan. Jordan played 82 fucking games. Jordan played hard in preseason games, in exhibition games, because he knew people were paying money. And that bullshit of load management, you dudes are making 20, 30, 40, $50 million a year, and you're taking a fucking day off? That's ridiculous. That's disconnect from the fans. People get up, work their ass off, spend all that money, drive there, their kids are big fans, and you decide you don't want to play? Well, keep fucking disrespecting the fans like that, because I don't know if you guys are smart enough to realize this, but eventually you'll piss enough of them off, and they'll be like me and stop watching. And without the fans, there ain't no TV contracts, brother, and then there ain't no money. Then you'll play. Your ass will play when they slow these contracts down. But load management is an absolute, it's an embarrassment to anybody. Anybody that would defend that at all is a fucking embarrassment to the world, period. Another thing I don't like is your fucking political views, all right? You're allowed to have them. I'm a proud American. I'm glad you have them. I'm glad you express them. I just don't want you expressing them while I'm watching the fucking game. If you want to go out on the weekends and stand on the corner and raise a sign that say, you know, Democrats suck, Republicans suck, independents suck, communists suck, I don't give a shit. Whoever, I don't fucking care. But I damn sure don't want to see it on your shirt or your back or your fucking... if you don't like this country, get the fuck out. Just get out. But I don't want to watch it. When I watch NBA games, I want to be entertained. I want to see the greatest athletes in the world giving the greatest effort and playing like they give a shit. That's what I want to watch. That takes me away from my fucking load management, of which I don't get any, because if I did, I'd get fired. I want to forget about my daily shit and be entertained. I don't really care about your political views. Half of you some bitches ain't even old enough to have a political view. Shit, I mean, what can somebody making $30 million a year that's 26 years old, 28 years old, know about politics? I mean, come on, man. Seriously? Okay, whatever. But I prefer not to see the shit while I'm being entertained. I don't want to turn into a congressional hearing and watch them fuckers shooting free throws or talking about basketball, because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about either when it comes to basketball. You don't know dog shit about politics, and they don't know dog shit about basketball. So why don't you leave the politics to them, and we'll leave the basketball to you. All right? That would be wonderful. But the biggest problem here is the money. There's so much fucking money. I equate it like this. There's a sex-starved man standing in front of Margot Robbie, and she's nude and says, here, you can have your way with me. Okay? Well, his fucking brain goes nuts. He has no idea what to do. He's in, out, up, down, long, short, standing, crooked, laying down. Well, there's such a big-ass pile of money that every fucker involved with the NBA, management, ownership, coaches, general managers, assistant coaches, press people, everybody, fucking ESPN, there's such a pile of money, your fucking brains are scrambled. You just, we all got to get a piece. We got to get a piece. We got to get a piece of this fucking money. Everybody's got to get some. Everybody got to get a bag. As Steve would say, give me a bag. Well, let me tell you what, man. You guys are losing your fucking common sense. Are you crazy? Now you're talking about fucking fining people for setting out or throwing games or losing games on purpose so you get a higher draft pick? Why don't you hire a fucking general manager that knows how to draft people? And you know, this bullshit of buying championships and waiting out and throwing games and sitting down. And are you kidding me? If there's a fucking scoreboard on the wall, I don't care if you're in kindergarten, if there's a fucking scoreboard on the wall that's keeping score and you don't try to win, you're in the wrong fucking profession. I will argue this with anybody. I've even heard fucking commentators, well, I wish my team would lose. Are you nuts? If you wish your team would lose, I wouldn't want you rooting for my fucking team, and I wouldn't want you as a fan. If they're keeping score and you don't try to win, you're in the wrong fucking profession. The whole thing. Adam Silver, to even discuss that shit, your league is fucked up. You shouldn't try to lose anything. If there's a scoreboard, a time clock, whatever the hell it is, judges, if the outcome is whoever has the highest fucking score when the game's over and you don't want to have the highest score, you make me sick. You just fucking make me sick. That's it. Because that's sending the wrong message to kids. The best thing to do is win. There's nothing like winning. Winning breeds perfection, like competition breeds perfection. Everybody doesn't need a fucking trophy or a medal or a ribbon. That's bullshit. And trying to lose a game intentionally so you get a better player, most of the time you're going to end up trading that fucker anyway in 2 or 3 years and you're going to suck. Most of the teams that suck. I mean, the Chicago Bulls suck because Jerry Reinsdorf owns the team. Jerry Reinsdorf owns 2 teams, the Bulls and the White Sox. 2 of the most embarrassing piece of shit fucking professional franchises in the world. I'm a White Sox fan and I'm a Bulls fan, or I used to be when I watched the NBA. But an embarrassing owner is a fucking embarrassing owner. And it doesn't matter. The teams that know how to draft and know how to run an organization usually win. But to even discuss losing a game on purpose, I wouldn't watch that shit for no money. I mean, just about everything you touch is fucked up. All-Star Weekend, I wouldn't watch that nonsense. The dunk contest, that last dunk contest, I saw the highlights. Fuck, I saw better dunks at a high school game last week. The reason you don't have people fucking in the dunk contest, because now they don't want to fuck up their brand, or they're too cool, or they get paid too much money. They get paid too much money. He might sprain his ankle. Well, fuck, if that's Anthony Davis, he sprains his ankle. The good thing, he's only out 2.5 years. You want to have a fucking dunk contest? Here, have a dunk contest. Have 2 dunk contests. Have one on a 10-foot rim for people 6'2" and under. That's it. If you're over 6'2", fuck you. You can't be in here. Because at least they have to do something. Having a dunk contest on a 10-foot rim with a bunch of 6'9", 6'10", 6'11 dudes? Fuck, come on. That's like having a dunk contest in your kitchen with 6th graders with a fucking hoop on their door. They got to jump about 1.5 inches. If you want to have a contest with dudes over 6'6" and above, or 6'5", make the rim 11 feet. Make them do something. All right? And then put somebody in there other than fuckers in the G League. I mean, that dude is a great dunker and shit, but you shouldn't have to have that guy in there because nobody wants to participate. Up until this year, I don't know what happened. I guess you had 3 games or some shit, but I didn't want to watch a 200 to 190 game where fuckers are just running across half court and launching the ball. So the All-Star game sucks. Load management sucks. Fans or people throwing the game sucks. The commissioner sucks. Effort sucks. All you do is shoot 3-pointers. You give calls to people that because they have a 10-year. I mean, can I imagine that shit? Yeah, I go to work at 8 o'clock, and so does my coworker here. And we both have the same start time, but he's been there 9 years, and I've been there 2 years, so he gets to start at 8:30. Yeah, my boss, he ain't going for that shit. 8 o'clock's 8 o'clock, and fucking foul is a foul. The NBA is all fucked up. I hope that they can straighten the shit out before they lose more fans. I wish more fans were like me and just said, I'm not watching this nonsense. I know that your viewership has went down. It ain't went down enough yet, though. But watching a bunch of people that make $20, $30, $40 million a year play a couple times a week, when they're out there, they don't fucking guard anybody. If they do, and they get called for a foul, they want to argue. And if you fucking call a technical, they fucking want to scream at you. And you got a dunk contest with a dude that can't make any better dunks than a dude in the 11th grade in some fucking high school out in the country. That's a hell of a product, man. But those are the reasons that I don't watch the NBA anymore. And until they fix a whole bunch of that shit, I'm not going to watch it. I know nobody cares because they got too much money and they're all taking care of their brand and doing whatever the fuck it is they're doing, you know. But from my standpoint, that's a bunch of shitty basketball. So I'll stick to high school and college. I'll be doing another rant shortly on college because they're doing their damnedest to fuck that up too. And they will. They've already fucked it up pretty bad. Wait till they screw up this selection coming up for the NCAA. Then you can watch Jay Billis and Jay Williams and all the people from Duke and Reese Davis try to make excuses for these fuckers when they know damn well that they know about as much about basketball as that dresser sitting behind me. So anyway, there's my rant about the NBA. Peace.